Welcome back to Stick Figure Sense, where we explain everyday life one stick at a time. If you enjoy videos that break down big ideas into simple lessons, make sure to hit like, subscribe, and tap the bell so you don't miss the next story. Now let's jump in. Why is it so easy to say, I'll do it tomorrow, but so painfully hard to just do it today? We've all been there. You sit down at your desk, ready to work, and suddenly your brain whispers, just check your phone for a second. Maybe make a snack first. Maybe scroll through TikTok real quick. You'll feel better after. Hours pass, the deadline gets closer, and the thing you promised yourself you'd do is still untouched. That's procrastination. And it's not just you, it's everyone. From students cramming last minute, to adults dodging chores, to entrepreneurs putting off their big idea, procrastination is one of the most common struggles in life. But here's the twist. Procrastination is not laziness. It's not weakness. It's not because you're broken. It's actually your brain trying to protect you. Today, we're breaking down the psychology of procrastination, why we do it, why it feels so impossible to escape, and most importantly, how to finally beat it. And hey, before we get too deep, drop a comment below. What's the number one thing you've been putting off lately? Be honest, don't worry, you're not alone. Let's strip this down. Procrastination is simply delaying something you intended to do, but beneath the surface, it's not that simple at all. Imagine a little stick figure, or we'll call him Sam, sitting at a desk. On the desk is a piece of paper that says, "Assignment due tomorrow." Sam stares at it, his shoulders slump. Behind him, a tall shadow labeled "Later" taps him on the shoulder. Sam gulps, grabs his phone, and starts scrolling. That's procrastination, but is Sam lazy? Laziness is not caring. Procrastination is different. It's when you do care, but you avoid anyway. The reason is emotional. The task feels uncomfortable. It might be boring. It might be stressful. It might trigger fear of failure. Your brain doesn't like discomfort, so it says, let's get rid of this feeling by doing something easier. Procrastination is not a productivity problem, it's an emotional regulation problem. Your brain isn't avoiding work, it's avoiding feelings. Inside your head, two systems battle every day. First, the prefrontal cortex. This is the planner, the rational part of your brain that thinks about the future. It says things like, if we do this project now, we'll feel good later. Second, the limbic system. This is the instant gratification seeker. It doesn't care about the future. It cares about comfort right now. It says, why stress? Let's watch Netflix, let's scroll, let's grab some chips. In stick figure form, imagine a control room inside your head. On one side, a serious figure with a clipboard, calmly suggesting the responsible path. On the other side, a goofy figure lounging on a beanbag chair, pressing a big red button that says later. And usually, the goofy one wins. That's procrastination in action. It's not because you're weak, it's because your brain is wired to protect you from stress by seeking quick rewards. You already know the examples and because you've lived them. Students waiting until the last possible night to write an essay. Adults letting laundry pile up until there are no clean socks left. Workers dodging that one email until the boss asks about it. Dreamers promising to start their YouTube channel or business next week, but somehow next week never comes. Procrastination doesn't just waste minutes, it can waste months, years, even entire dreams. Picture a stick figure carrying a small backpack labeled later. At first it's light, but every time they procrastinate, a brick gets tossed in. One brick for every delayed chore, project, or dream. Over time, the backpack becomes so heavy, the stick figure collapses under the weight. That's how procrastination builds up in real life. Silently, one brick at a time. If procrastination hurts us, why do we keep doing it? Simple, because in the short term, it feels great. When you avoid a task, you get instant relief. No more stress, no more discomfort, at least for a moment. Your brain rewards you with dopamine, the feel-good chemical. Scrolling TikTok, watching YouTube, even reorganizing your sock drawer suddenly feels easier and more rewarding than facing the real task. There's also something called temporal discounting. That's a fancy way of saying we value rewards now more than rewards later. Imagine someone offers you $100 today versus $120 a month from now. Most people take the $100 today, that's procrastination at work. Future? You feels like a stranger, present, you just wants comfort. So we keep tossing tasks onto tomorrow me. But tomorrow me is already tired, standing under a mountain of papers. Yet present me doesn't care. He's already on the couch with snacks. Procrastination has 3 major hidden costs. First, stress. The closer the deadline, the more your brain spirals. You go from calm avoidance to full-blown panic. That sick feeling in your stomach when the clock is ticking, that's procrastination cashing in. Second, missed opportunities. Every time you delay, doors close. The application you didn't submit, the skill you didn't practice, the person you didn't call. Third, loss of self-trust. Every time you say, I'll do it later, and don't, you break a promise to yourself. Slowly, you start to believe your own words mean nothing. That kills confidence. Picture it. One stick figure is being chased by a giant clock with sharp teeth. Another watches a dream bubble float away while they scroll their phone. A third stares at a mirror where their reflection holds up a sign that says, you broke your promise. That's the true cost of procrastination. Now let's get into solutions. The 2-minute rule is if it takes under 2 minutes, do it now. Wash the dish, reply to the text, fold the shirt. By killing small tasks immediately, you prevent them from becoming mental clutter. Break big tasks into tiny wins. Huge projects feel impossible. Instead of write essay, break it down, open document, write 1 sentence, find 1 source. Each step builds momentum. The 5-minute promise. Tell yourself you'll just work for 5 minutes. If you want to quit after, you can. Most of the time, starting is the hardest part. Once you're moving, you keep going. Make the pain visible. Connect today's choices to tomorrow's consequences. If you skip the gym today, visualize how you'll feel in a year. If you avoid the project now, visualize the panic later. Your brain acts when it sees the cost, rewards, and accountability. Humans are social. We don't like letting people down. Share your goals, make promises, give yourself rewards. Procrastination thrives in isolation. Accountability kills it. Here's the deeper shift. Stop calling yourself lazy. You're not lazy, you're not broken, you're human. Procrastination is not a flaw. It's a signal that your brain wants comfort, but your future wants growth. Instead of fighting your brain, guide it. Use tricks, structure, and tiny wins to redirect that energy. Imagine a stick figure once dragged by their brain on a leash toward the couch. Now flip it. The stick figure holds the leash, leading their brain toward progress, dangling a carrot of reward in front. That's the reframe. Let me tell you about Alex, a student. Alex procrastinated on everything. Essays at 3 a.m., studying the night before tests, stress through the roof. One day, Alex tried the 5-minute promise. I'll just read 1 page. 1 page turned into 5, 5 into 10. Suddenly, Alex studied for an hour. The next day, Alex tried again. Slowly, progress built. He used the 2-minute rule to keep chores under control. He broke essays into puzzle pieces, and he stopped calling himself lazy. He started saying, I'm learning to guide my brain. By the end of the semester, Alex's grades improved, his stress dropped, and most importantly, he trusted himself again. The lesson? Alex didn't transform overnight. He just used simple tools. That's all it takes. Here's the final truth. Motivation is a spark. It feels good when it shows up, but it fades. You can't rely on it. Discipline is different. Discipline is the engine. It shows up whether you feel like it or not. It says 5 minutes now, tiny steps now, small wins now, and discipline builds consistency. Picture a stick figure facing a huge monster labeled distraction. At first, the monster drags them away, but day by day, the stick figure builds chains. Eventually, the monster is chained to a post, powerless, while the figure walks forward free. That's discipline. When you build discipline, you don't fight procrastination every day, you just show up. And that's freedom. So let's tie this all together. Procrastination isn't laziness. It's your brain seeking comfort. But comfort comes at a cost. Stress, lost opportunities, broken self-trust. The way out isn't shame. The way out is tools, 2-minute rule, tiny wins, 5-minute promise, making the pain visible, accountability, and rewards. The deeper shift is reframing procrastination as a signal. Your brain wants comfort. Your future wants growth. Guide your brain with small, smart choices. Build discipline over time. And remember this. Every time you put something off, you're adding bricks to the backpack of future you. But every time you act, even for 2 minutes, you lighten the load. So the next time you whisper, "I'll do it later," stop. Later is a lie. Tomorrow isn't promised. The only moment you ever have is now. And that's it for today's lesson. Remember, procrastination isn't about being lazy, it's about guiding your brain toward growth. If this video helped you, don't procrastinate on hitting like and subscribe. And drop a comment below. What's one thing you're finally going to stop putting off? Thanks for watching Stick Figure Sense, where we keep explaining everyday life, one stick at a time.